Now, we went over foods that you should avoid. Now let's go into something a little deeper. The sinuses, there is a gut to sinus connection. There is a gut to sinus connection. That's right. You ever heard there's a gut to head connection? Well, your head and your gut, like they say the gut is the second brain. As far as how many neurons and how many connections are there, they call it the second brain, right? Well, there is a gut and sinus connection. You have a tremendous amount of lymphatic nodes and lymphatic vessels going to the head and especially to the sinus. You have a tremendous amount of lymphatic vessels going to the head, especially the sinus. Okay? The sinus is a spot where it cleanses things and it cleanses the air and it gets rid of bacteria and all them other things. One of the ways our body eliminates toxins from the body and it transports it to the organs it needs to go to is the blood, but the main place is the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is like a sewerway. Its job is to take all the toxins from the cells and dump it in the liver, expels them out, and goes into the colon, and your body eliminates it. Or you can sweat out some of the toxins and things like that. But the lymphatic system is the way the body excretes most of its toxins. When you have toxins in your blood, the pressure from your blood pushes those toxins into your body, pushes them up to the lymphatic system. That lymphatic system now drains into the organs like the liver and all that to be eliminated properly. It actually drains also back into the blood and goes back in. It's a whole cycle from the blood to the lymphatic to the liver to the kidneys to the colon. It's a whole cycle. But there is a connection between the brain, the head and the gut. The lymphatic nodes in the face, when they get blocked up, one of the reasons why you cannot drain because the lymphatic system in the face and in the neck gets blocked up. And that stagnation usually comes from having blockages in the lower bowel, the colon and the liver. Okay? So if you are dealing with chronic sinus issues, a lot of times you have a stagnant liver that's not excreting them toxins out fast enough. Because the lymphatic system works either through muscle contraction or massaging. So when we move around, the lymphatic system is what's causing, the lymphatic system is moving too. It does not have a heartbeat. It's not like blood. It doesn't get the pressure like that. The only pressure that comes from that affects the lymphatic system from the blood is the actual lymph coming out of the blood, going back into the lymphatic system by the pressure of the heart. But the lymphatic system moves through muscle movement. Or you can massage it to make it move. But that's still physical movement. And what happens is that when these ducts get blocked in the sinus area, and your cheek area, and your neck area, it's because you're not getting proper drainage in the liver area. You're not getting proper drainage, and that stuff is not secreting from the liver down to the bowel and to the colon. It's not being eliminated. So one of the main things you have to do when you are dealing with sinus issues is to detoxify your colon and your liver. And when you do that, you can eliminate half of your sinus issues right then and there. You detoxify your colon and your liver, you will reduce your sinus issues by almost 50%, sometimes up to 70%, just from doing those two things. Because now you'll open up the pathways for those lymph nodes that gets blocked up there. You open up those pathways, and you're allowing them now to drain the way they're supposed to with gravity. If they do not drain, they will back up. They will cause you pressure. They will even try to come out from your eyes. You have ducts here. You have tear ducts. Well, it will secrete from your eyes. You ever had sinuses so bad it makes your eyes water up? And sometimes your eyes would tear and drain? What I mean, your sinus are trying to eliminate, it's trying to come out. Okay? Sometimes when you have real bad sinus, you'll wake up with mucus in your eyes thinking you got pink eye sometimes. Because the sinuses are trying to drain. And the way they want to drain is they want to run down out. They come to the back of the neck, to the back of your ears. Then they drain down to the side of your neck. And then they come out through your clavicle. And they go into the bloodstream. And the bloodstream pumping back through. And they come down and they go to the liver. The lymphatic system. The lymphatic system, and then also goes through the spleen. So it has to be, your body has to filter out this lymphatic system. But if the liver is blocked and the colon is toxin, then it's hard for it to do that, and you have backages up in your sinus cavities. So there is a head to gut connection. Clean your liver and your colon, and it will reduce your sinus issues by up to 50%, maybe up to 70%, just on its own. Now, if you do that and eliminate these foods, you could be probably up to 80 to 90% of most of your problems are gone. By keeping the lymphatic system open and flushed, you are going to get the best results. Keeping the lymphatic system open and flush, you are going to get the best results. Okay? So when you're dealing with sinus issues, we know what the sinus does now. We understand that we got to keep dairy. We also got to keep gluten out of our diet. We also got to keep simple sugars out of our diet. You know? We got to do all those things to keep the inflammation down. And omega-6 rich foods, we want to avoid those omega-6 rich foods. But then while we're doing that, we want to detoxify. We want to detoxify the liver and the colon. And when you do that, you're going to open up the channels between the head and the gut. Because now we're going to start getting proper lymphatic drainage. And when you get proper lymphatic drainage, now the sinuses can drain properly. I know it sounds crazy, right? Proper lymphatic drainage, now the sinuses can drain properly. But that's what you want. You want proper lymphatic drainage so the sinuses can drain properly. And the only way you can do that is by keeping the lymphatic system flushed, keeping the liver clean, and keeping the waste from being reabsorbed by keeping that colon flowing. Because detoxifying the colon, the liver does all. The liver is like the key. The liver is the key. The liver is the thing. It's the organ that's cleaning everything in our bloodstream. The liver and the kidneys, right? The liver is the key, though. The colon is just a warehouse. But the colon can reabsorb. So we got to make sure nothing is staying in there. We got to make sure that stuff is flowing out of it. We got to make sure toxins are not being reabsorbed. That's the benefit of the colon. So if you are dumping the liver's dumping into the colon, okay, and the kidneys are urinating that also the lymphatic waste. The kidneys also filter out lymphatic waste. You urinate it out. But if one area is doing its job and the other area is not, you get reabsorption of the toxins. And you just keep going in this vicious cycle. So you get one elimination method of the kidneys that's not going to be reabsorbed because the body is going to urinate that out. But there's also a lot coming through the liver that has to go down into with your bowel salts and go into the colon, and your body eliminates it like that. And you don't want that to be reabsorbed. So keeping the colon flushed out. So that is the gut to head connection, and that's how keeping the liver, the colon, and even the kidneys clean to help properly keep your sinuses under control. So that's that. Now,